Hello everyone, my name is Henry. If you've never been here before, welcome. Today I'm going to talk about insecurities with a focus of what it's like to watch yourself back on camera. And I'm also going to talk about how societally we're constantly looking at ourselves on a screen and how that can affect us and the way we feel about ourselves. This trend, I don't think it's a trend, but this way of life currently that we are living of watching ourselves back on screens goes to everyone. Okay, I'm gonna say that again because that was really confusing. So societally, we're constantly looking at ourselves on screens as well too. There are so many positives to social media, but as with anything, there are also a lot of negatives too. We are constantly looking at ourselves through apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. This doesn't have to be a bad thing, but it definitely can have certain repercussions, especially with certain filters. For example, right now I am using a filter. It is called Teenager, and this is the one that was super popular about a month or so ago. Details, time doesn't matter. So this is what I look like with the filter, and this is me without the filter. But what's interesting is if you see right here on the right side, the third from the bottom, there's a little retouch button, and that's always turned on automatically. So if I click it, it takes away some retouching that it did. So automatically, right off the bat, there's already some retouching or fixing of what are supposed imperfections done in the app on camera that you're looking at yourself in. I'm looking at the retouch filter and being like, oh, maybe my skin needs to be smoother because it's retouching it to make it better, right? It brings you back to feeling like, oh, this part of my face needs to be retouched. This part is flawed and needs to be fixed up in a way. It can be really hard to not have insecurities start, even if they weren't there, when apps are retouching how you look automatically. And then there's also apps like FACETUNE, where you're literally modifying your face, your body, whatever it may be. And I'm not hating on FACETUNE. It's a great app, you can do a lot of cool things, but it can affect the way that people feel about themselves. And if they're looking at a picture of themselves and hyper-focusing on that, and then they start to do things like, oh, I need to whiten my teeth, I need to conceal some bags under my eyes, I need to smooth my skin, I wish I had a glow. Then all of a sudden it's adding all of these different elements that aren't necessarily natural, that are supposed to tune up your face. Societally, that's viewed as being tuned up. Talking is hard. In a way that's societally supposed to be beauty. There's no specific way to be beautiful. Beauty shines from the inside out. Cheesy, but it's true. There's no specific way that you're supposed to look to be beautiful. So it can be hard when these different apps, which again, I'm not hating on the apps, they have a lot of upsides too, but when these apps are showing filters that are supposed to make you look better, or putting a retouch on that's supposed to touch up your face, it can really make you feel like, oh, if it's touching up this, that means something's wrong with the way I look and it needs to be fixed. Whereas you normally wouldn't be thinking about that. But this is something that I was thinking about when I was thinking about how it can be hard to watch yourself back on camera, and I was thinking about just YouTube. And then I realized it actually applies societally as well. When I'm recording, and especially when editing my vlogs, I'm constantly looking at myself and hearing the way I sound. And it can be really hard not to objectify myself and think, I don't like the way my face looks in that. I don't like the way I sound in that. And really hyper-criticize, that's not a word, criticalize, hyper-criticize the way that I look. Generally, I'm not hyper-focused on any of these things. While there might be some insecurities, I'm not 100% focused on them at all times. But then watching myself back and constantly looking at myself, again, I'm viewing myself more as an object instead of as a human being. Now, I will say, I have noticed the more, there's a fuzz, the more videos that I record, the more comfortable I feel and am on camera. And the more comfortable I feel on camera translates to how I feel about myself off camera, because I'm learning to stop objectifying myself while I'm editing, while I'm recording, and instead just record. As I continue to watch myself back, again, the insecurities that I've had or that come up have lessened. It's like as I become more comfortable on camera, I also become more comfortable watching myself on camera, off camera, whatever. So I'm sure you weren't expecting me to say this, but YouTube and creating these videos has actually really helped me to not view myself objectively, because I'm learning from doing so, from previously viewing myself objectively, that is not good, that's not healthy. And so shifting that behavior, figuring out what's wrong with that, and changing my mindset. Now, I will say, loving yourself is a journey. It does not happen overnight. So this is essentially a practice. And the more you practice something, the more the muscle grows. So we say. I say right now. And all of this loving yourself talk does actually bring up a quote by Mother RuPaul. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love anybody else? Can I get an amen? Amen, RuPaul, I love you. Anyways, what are all of your thoughts? What is it like for you to watch yourself back on screen? Have you ever had insecurities that come up from watching yourself back on screen? What are your thoughts in general? Leave a comment below. I'd love to discuss more about this interesting and relevant topic. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, pretty please, and subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to see more of me. I would love for us to see more of each other. I would love to connect with you. There we go. So thank you so much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye. Just keep waving and waving and waving and waving. Why you gotta keep on waving?